Hello, and thank you so very much for watching my National Geographic Education capstone video. I am Amanda Jo Boener. I am a mom of 4 little ones who reignited my hunger for learning and had a pretty big part in making me the adventurous, patient, and curious teacher that I am today. When forming our farm, my objectives here were to cultivate community and celebrate curiosity, and the Luna Hill Wild School is an extension of that mindset. I set out to nurture wonder with nature, to celebrate their curiosities with my genuine presence and encouragement, to use nature as my partner when teaching. A practice that this course inspired me to pursue with my students is nature journaling. We started by looking at drawings done by others first, which gave the kids an idea of what we would be looking for. Then we set out on a hike in search of fiddlehead ferns. The kids found the little spirals popping out of the ground all on their own. We carefully sat in a circle around our find, then got out our magnifying glasses and worked on their observation skills. We went through these 3 prompts suggested by John Muir Laws before ever drawing. By utilizing this powerful tool, the kids were asking questions, gathering data, then organizing that information as a way to make sense of what we were seeing. Giving the children the tools they needed was key. The curiosity was already there, but the magnifying glasses helped draw them in. The observations were being made together, and the nature journals gave them a place to document those findings. I even found a simple dry erase board to be a very empowering tool in helping the littler ones utilize the skill of observation when it came time to put those vocabulary words they had chosen onto paper as a way of processing what we were experiencing. By completing these 3 prompts beforehand, I was able to nurture their attitude of curiosity by increasing their basic knowledge of plants and wild places through nature journaling, which definitely enhanced their skills of observation. And it was clear to me that that was being achieved because the children were excited and just very active in our conversations. They were asking questions, listening to what others had to add, and then they sat quietly working away for quite some time, really involved in the documentation process. As an added way to engage in their curiosities, we cooked them up. The kids said they tasted like pizza and couldn't get enough. Since that first sketch together, we have incorporated nature journaling in many of our activities. We've sketched daylilies, and then made daylily ice cream together. We have sketched yarrow together and then headed into the kitchen to make a medicinal salve. We have sat in our food forest, sketched sweet Sicily, harvested some, and then made tea. We have sketched and gathered violets and then made violet jelly. The focus for my first National Geographic activity in the certification process was on an unfortunate event that occurred when a field next to our farm was crop dusted. Sadly, this led to many of our honeybees dying. The kids and I came up with a way to help the bees as best we could in the moment by planting some seeds with flowers they like around their hive, but it wasn't until we got out our nature journals and began to ask ourselves questions about the honeybees that we made connections that went deeper. Upon closer inspection, the children noticed her tongue was out. They wondered, why did it die? Was she in pain? They saw the bee, often portrayed as a creature to fear, differently. They made new discoveries, like the tiny hairs that covered their bodies and wings with patterns that reminded them of flies. I know that this activity, when carried out by a present and actively curious teacher, leads to all the learning outcomes desired, and it does utilize the 3 key mindsets of a National Geographic Explorer kit as described in the learning framework. But I believe that this activity most exemplifies the attitudes that encompass the mindset of an explorer. When children are asked and encouraged to be engaged with their subject in such a way, by using the 3 prompts before sketching, their curiosity muscle is flexing. It's true, young children usually do this naturally, and they also build an understanding of concepts best through directly experiencing them, so pairing their natural curiosities with the desired skill of observation was an organic fit. I believe strongly the way in which the teacher listens and acknowledges their findings is just as important as any instruction the teacher will give. In reflection, it's when the learning framework is utilized with intention and when the children are in an environment in which their curiosities are celebrated that they really flourish. When kids have used the process of nature journaling plants they are curious about, I have seen their respect for these plants and their environments grow. It has been such a joy to watch these kids delight in finding wild edibles on their own, and then they even take it upon themselves to teach others all they know about these plants. I think the work I am doing is a great example of what National Geographic believes, that curiosity can lead to responsibility, which will then culminate in empowered action. The fact that I am not alone in this belief has been so uplifting. So I believe that the practice of nature journaling can celebrate and encourage their sense of wonder, give them tools to take foraging into their own hands, and lead them to finding confidence and empowerment that will carry over throughout their lives. Well, if you need me, you can find me hard at work playing with presents and flexing my own curiosity muscle outside with some of the best explorers around.